Let him laugh, let him weep, let him yell, let him sing. All they wanna say. Let him lay me traps and men to pray to Jehovah, me I pray. Let him laugh, let him weep, let him yell, let him sing. All they wanna say. Let him lay me traps and men to pray to Jehovah, me I pray. Let I be me instead of playing games. For chasing fame, let somebody set the lack of flames. No, living my life to the fullest. And shout out my halala to the fullest. Let my lungs out. I'm still rising up to greater heights. As long as I'm
Hello, bonjour and bonani. Welcome to Rise to Greater Heights Network, where you can turn your fears into greater success while seizing new opportunities. It is so significant to have a positive mindset, more especially under these circumstances. So this network has the potential to completely revolutionize every aspect of your life and career. My name is Dr. Riel Nkunene, and I'm going to be your host for today. So if you're watching us online, please feel free to put in the chat box where you're watching us from and what you hope to achieve from our podcast. Today, we are surrounded by greatness in the World Wide Web. We have an amazing speaker who's going to share more nuggets on how you can actually overcome depression, how you can overcome depression as part of human rights. So in South Africa, we have Nomzamo Hlatshwayo, who's our speaker today. So I'll just let Nomzamo introduce herself. You can go ahead, Queen.
Thank you, Dr. Kunene. Hi, viewers. As you said earlier, I'm Nomzamo Hlatshwayo from South Africa, Secunda in Mpumalanga. I am a living testimony. I am a living miracle. I survived a car accident with severe fractures. I thought I will never walk again, but here I am today. I'm alive, walking, and I'm a bubbly person, hardworking person, a loving mother. I am a go-getter, and thank you for having me in this show.
Oh, wow. It's such a great honor to have you. And truly, you are a living testimony. And we're going to hear your testimony on how you did it all after all the scars that you got. So we're so honored. We're humbled to have you on this platform, Nomzamo.
Thank you, Doctor.
So here at Rise to Greater Heights Network, we always have a disclaimer, because when you speak of human rights, it's kind of a big subject matter that you can discuss with the public. So we have a disclaimer here at Rise to Greater Heights Network. We're only here to provide information about human rights to the public. So legal information is not the same as legal advice as to the application of law to an individual's specific circumstances. So we cannot offer any legal advice in response to specific questions. And if our viewers, if you're watching us online, if you need such help, I would strongly recommend that you consult a lawyer. So we're gonna get started with Nomzamo. Nomzamo, I have a question for you. If you happen to have your own billboard, I can see your billboard coming down there in the busy highway in Mpumalanga. What will your billboard say?
My billboard will say hashtag my scars, my testimony. Why my scars, my testimony? Like my story, in 2001, December, I was involved in a car accident. And then both of my legs were broken, and also my nose fracture was broken. Through that, I received scars because of several operations that took place. But what I like in all that, I received a testimony to be a walking miracle today. The reason I'm saying hashtag my scars, my testimony, everyone, every human being, we go through our scars, and some of the scars other people they have, it's scars of emotional depression. Other scars, it's for the depression, it comes through the scars that I have, the accident scars. Some, it's because of the rape. Some, it's because of domestic violence.
Wow.
Some, it's because of abuse. There are a lot of scars. I can name them. There are many. But today, with my billboard, I would like to encourage and motivate people to say through our scars, whatever you've been through, whatever you faced, whatever scar you have, little as it is, bigger as it is, but that's your testimony to save another person, to encourage another person, to say you can walk again like me with 2 broken legs, but today I can drive.
Wow.
I can walk to the mall. I can walk around. I can do shopping. I can do whatever I need to do through my scars. With the nose fracture, some of them, they will say, look at my nose, my face and what, because I went through depression, especially with my nose, because I was saying, I'm no longer beautiful as I used to be. I was so depressed. I used to walk around with the mask, to put mask on just to cover my face, to cover this beauty. But today, through my scars, through my testimony, I'm happy and thank you that I'm here to share, to say, hashtag your scar, your testimony.
My scars, my testimony. You know, it's high time you just focus on the beauty that you have right now compared to the beauty that you had, because that beauty is gone, but you have a much more refined beauty. My scars, my testimony. And I just want to applaud you for being able just to pull yourself back again and be the Nomzamo that the world really needs now. The Nomzamo who is going to impact as many souls as much as she can. She's no longer a prisoner of her past, but she's just a pioneer of her future. Thank you so much, Nomzamo. I'm looking forward to hear more of your message. Thank you. So we're gonna get started. So I'm gonna grab your bio here. So Mrs. Nomzamo Hlatshwayo is from Secunda, Mpumalanga, like she said, in South Africa. She is a loving housewife, a mother of 2 beautiful girls, and she's a motivational speaker who is pushing women empowerment. So we are so honored, Nomzamo. The stage is yours, Queen. So kings and queens, please join me and welcome Nomzamo Hlatshwayo.
Thank you, Doctor. I would like to share how I overcome my depression. When I was involved in a car accident, it was a lot for me. I couldn't take it because it's not easy to come back home walking with a wheelchair or sitting in a wheelchair, not able to walk again, not able to do what you were used to do, not able to do things on your own. That for me, it depressed me so much to a point that I couldn't even bath myself. Bathing, it was so hard. Even going to the loo, to the toilet using a wheelchair, it was so hard for me. I was so depressed all the time. I am a cooker. I love cooking. But because of the accident, I was not able to do all those things, to look after my kids, to bath my kids, to drive my kids to school. That all in all, it was so depressing for me. So today, I want to encourage you that through whatever you are going through, whatever situation you are facing, you can come out as victorious. Today, I am a living miracle. I am a walking testimony. Patience. Accept being loved by people. The support you get from your family and friends. Take it. Don't stay alone. Don't be in a box on your own. Because the moment you sit alone with whatever situation, whatever depression you're going through, it may kill you. But we are here to say, hey, I stand up. I walked again. I survived. Depression, it's there, but you can survive and live again. So today I would like also to motivate people. With your scars, you can make it. It's not easy, but with depression, I remember when I was in hospital, it was not easy. I was there without family because it was far. I was in Cape Town, far from family. It was depressing not even to have a visitor, but I encouraged myself. I talked, I started making friends with the nurses, with the patients around, sharing my story, saying, you know, today I can't walk, but tomorrow I'm sure I will be able to walk again. That in all, just surround yourself with people who will motivate you, people who will encourage you. It's not over. Depression, it's not a death sentence. You can rise to greater heights. You can rise again emotionally, mentally, physically, and spiritually. And I would like to say to the kids, especially what my kids went through, because at some point, we don't get to acknowledge that our kids is our strength. They are our pillars. When we have kids, we are blessed. Because our kids, my kids motivated me into prayer. They will call me at night. They will say, Mommy, we're praying. You shall walk again. They started giving me that hope to say, you've got scars in your face, but you are still beautiful. You are still a loving mom. Our kids, it's our motivations, because they will tell you, Mommy, you can do it. You can do it. Get that dress. You see that dress you love. Wear it again. With your scars in your feet, it doesn't mean you can't wear your short dresses again. So when you have kids, learn to appreciate them. Learn to acknowledge them, because they are, as I said earlier on, they are our pillar of strength. They are people who stand beside us in dark and in bright days. They are always there. It's never too late. It's not an end. Life is beautiful. Let's live again. Through whatever you are facing today, we are here. We said we survive. You can survive as well. And I would like to add on saying, as I said before in the billboards, that hashtag my scar, my testimony. Share your testimony. There is nothing nicer and encouraging than sharing your story. It's not only healing the other person, but you get the inner healing as well. You heal in your spirit. You heal in your body. You heal in your mind as well. The moment you share your story, the moment you testify, the moment you tell other people that you can make it, also you yourself, you get encouraged, you get motivated, you get empowered. Like Dr. Gunene said, rise to greater heights. Whatever you do, you can rise to greater heights. Depression, it's not a death sentence. You can live again. Thank you, Doctor.
Oh, wow, Nomzamo, you are indeed an inspiration. Like I can see you living beyond those scars. You've mentioned that we should encourage ourselves, because depression is not a death sentence, but it means that something new is just about to be written about your story. And you've mentioned that we should share our stories, because that's where we get the inner healing. It's not just sharing the story with the other person. You're also healing yourself in that way, of which means you'll have to stay positive in everything that you do. So Nomzamo, like if we can just go back to your situation, you were involved in a car accident. after your wedding or before your wedding, I can't remember your story. And then like throughout that phase, how can you say the real depression that you really faced as an individual?
Doctor, it was after my wedding celebration of 9 years being in marriage with my loving husband.
Wow.
The real depression that I faced the most, it was when I got home, the situation I was in, especially the movement around the house, seeing that they had to move couch for me to navigate around the house. And most like when I had to go to my appointments, like the car seats, they had to lay them down so that I can be able to get in the car and then to go for my therapy and physio. It was never easy, especially the one that depressed me so much. It was at night when we had to sleep. I love sleeping the way I want to.
Yeah.
I'm a free sleeper when I had to put my legs whenever. But now I could not.
Yeah.
I could not stretch my legs the way I wanted to. And to think that now I'm also frustrating my husband that when I put my legs, he will go and say, baby, the legs are too heavy now. Can you please remove them?
Wow.
Because of the cement and because of the injuries. Sometimes you don't sleep comfortably. You are not. You are not able to turn. You are not able to do what you want to do. That one on its own, it depressed me because when you sleep freely, when you sleep, it's nice to sleep like a baby.
Right.
You know how babies sleep.
Yeah.
So that one on its own.
It was depressing. Wow.
Depression.
Wow, wow, wow. Yeah, I can imagine being in your shoes, really. And depression comes in different volumes. And I believe yours, you were like, no, I'm just in a breaking point right now. I just can't, like I used to be able to walk around the house. Like you've mentioned, you like cooking, and here comes a point where you'll have to be served. You'll have to rely upon others to be assisting you. I can really see where that depression creeps in. Wow. And then you overcame it. When did you realize that, you know what, it's high time, it's now or never. Let me face my fears and come out of that depression. When did you realize, and how did you do it?
Okay, to overcome it, I had to move to my home in Embalente, in a location where I get to face people daily, where I get to meet people daily, where I get, when I want to buy bread, I have to walk to the store. When I want to buy fat cooks, I have to walk. So that one encouraged me, because now I was starting to meet people, to make conversation with people. Even people will say, no, you're getting better. That alone motivated me. That you're not the same now. You're getting better. Last week you were like this. This week we are pushing. That on its own, it motivated me to a point whereby I had to push to a point to say, I'm taking a taxi now. With my crutches, I'm taking a taxi. Wow. So I had to be that bold to say, I want to overcome this. I want to face the challenges that I said I can't do it, because it's not easy to get in a taxi with crutches. But I said, here I am. People, they know me as Mrs. Tlatwayo, who drives. But today I'm taking a taxi, and I will go to town, or I will go to the mall and walk with my sticks around and starting to buy grocery, to do what I love now. And what I like also the most, I started cooking again.
Wow. Wow.
I know I couldn't stand for too long, but I said I will cook a meal for my family. Even if I have to cook, chop, 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 sit down, and then stand up again, but I will make a meal. I will prepare supper today. And then it's where I started to say,
Wow.
depression, you are no longer my portion.
You decided to take ownership of the situation. You've mentioned changing the location. If it pleases you, as our audience watching us online, if in order for you to cope with the depression, you'll have to change your location, or maybe you'll have to change the way you used to do things. Begin to meet new people out there and take ownership. Be like, you know what? I just care about this person who is inside of me. I don't care about whosoever is around me. If I'll have to take that Uber, I'll have to take that taxi to do grocery. I used to drive that whatsoever car, but now because of my situation, it is just the way it is and I can't change it. But I believe that I can change the way I view things. I believe you will be on your way to healing. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Nomzamo, to share with our audience really your story, your scars, your story, and you decided to take ownership. That's the whole thing about depression. Just take ownership and begin to live. So thank you so much. So how can our viewers reach out to you, Nomzamo?
You can find me on my Facebook page. It's Nomzamo Tlatwayo on my Facebook page.
Mm-hmm.
And also you can find me on TikTok. It's at Nomzamo537 on TikTok. Or you can email me on nomzamo.mbizo, it's MBIZO @gmail.com. You can find me there. And also I want to add on saying, depression, you can overcome it by loving yourself. Love yourself first. Love yourself.
Wow.
Because the low self-esteem hits and oppresses us to the point of depression because we forget to love ourselves. Love yourself the way you are now. Thank you, Doctor.
Love yourself. Love yourself. Kings and queens, love yourself, because you know what? Love covers all. Love conquers all. So begin to love yourself. You do matter. You should be a priority. Your happiness comes first before serving anyone out there, because you can't give from an empty cup. So if you begin to love the world more than you do to yourself, your cup will be empty and you can't give anything from it. So love yourself. Love yourself. Nomzamo will share more final thoughts towards the end of this show. So please stay tuned for Nomzamo. But before I let go of Nomzamo, I'm gonna be the next and final speaker, because it's not gonna be a show without me showing up. So I'm gonna be the next speaker, but before I speak, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna share my bio and then I'll come back and speak. So please enjoy. I want you, as you think about your dreams and goals, to put this down. Rise to greater heights. Rise to greater heights, because you need to be clear about your career goals in order for you to gain guidance on professional development. Really, my goal as a mentor or as a coach, it's so simple. My goal is to study your current situation, identify limiting beliefs and other potential obstacles that you might be facing, and then design a plan of inspired action to empower you to pursue success and drive sustainable.
I think whosoever said that the sky is the limit was wrong. From today on, I, Dr. Riel and Kunene, believe that the sky is our point of view. Mom. So I think whosoever said that the sky is the limit was wrong. From today on, I, Dr. Riel and Kunene, believe that the sky is our point of view. So let's all rise to greater heights. Point of view. So let's all rise to greater heights. Rise to greater heights.
Dr. Nampumelelo Rial Kunene is an international human rights policy analyst who consults on policies and procedures related to human rights compliance. She is a highly sought-after, energetic, certified Lace Brown international speaker. This passionate leader holds a PhD with a discipline in leadership and business. Dr. Rial N. Kunene is the author and host to Rise to Greater Heights, a book and YouTube channel to turn your fears into greater success while seizing new opportunities. She is also a coach, mentor, and an MC, well known for encouraging many to rise from mediocrity into greatness. Her vision is not only to motivate, but also to empower audiences with a fresh perspective inspiration they require to pursue success and drive sustainable outcomes. In a seriously funny way, Dr. Kunene is an award-winning author, 10 times #1 Amazon and international best-selling author. Her #1 best-selling book, Rise to Greater Heights, has inspired and empowered many to pursue their personal and professional passion to become go-getters. As a trainer, diplomacy protocol officer, and strategist, Rial believes that we are in full control of our choices. Her mission is to meet the needs and transform lives of her clients and her audience. She is also a true advocate for creating new policies that uphold human rights and prevent human rights violations. Dr. Kunene's purpose is to teach everyone about human rights and help organizations understand and promote human rights. Her goal is to study your current situation, identify limiting beliefs, then design a plan of inspired action to empower you to achieve specific outcomes in your life. This change maker, trailblazer, and revolutionary is pushing boundaries and creating a real change worldwide. Like a phoenix that never accepted defeat and rose from its own ashes, she wants to challenge you to unleash your greatness and rise to greater heights. Dr. Rial N. Kunene wears many hats. As a professional certified sales manager, CEO, certified travel counselor, publisher, medical esthetician, philanthropist, and a commissioner for oaths, following her dreams gave her purpose to see her goals through and understand that she does have everything she needs to reach her full potential. Her everyday message is that your journey to be a better person starts with you. So knowing who you are to your core will make you understand that you are the only one who can accomplish your dreams. Hebrews 11, Psalms 27 and 40 keeps her to rise to greater heights. The sky is no longer the limit, but now the sky is our point of view. So let's all rise to greater heights. Kings and queens, please join me. Welcome, Dr. Rial N. Kunene.
Oh, wow. Once again, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Nomzamo, for sharing your profound, powerful message with the audience. And I believe with your message, really, our audience have been inspired. Our audience, they are just ready to face their own fears and, you know what, overcome their depression, because depression is so real. Depression is so real. You've mentioned that we should encourage ourselves. Everything that we do, just encourage yourself and share your story. Share your story with the world, because that's where healing lies. You will get more inner healing. Just stay positive, because you know what? Depression is not a death sentence. It's not. Something new has to be born from that situation that you are going through. So today I'm going to talk about human rights, because if we cover overcoming depression, if we speak of like your health, it's part of your human rights. So if you're watching us online, please, I just want to see if you know your human rights. If you hear the word human rights, what comes into your mind? Just drop it in the chat box, and then I'll come back and check, because you know what? human rights are the fundamental rights and freedoms that are inherent to all human beings, regardless of your gender, nationality, place of residence, sex, ethnicity, religion, or even your skin color. So human rights are not just about the law. Thus, human rights are non-discriminatory, meaning that all human beings are entitled to them. Good people, you really don't have to see the whole staircase in life to get to the top, but you need to take the first step to get to the top. As my mentor always say, that you don't have to be great to get started, but you'll have to get started to become great in life. So get started today. My everyday book says that you'll have to learn to do good, seek justice, correct oppression, bring justice to the fatherless, and plead the widow's cause. So get started today. Do good, seek justice, correct oppression where you feel like that oppression, it needs to be corrected, and plead the widow's cause, because I believe that we all have a voice, but not everyone knows how to use their voices. So as an advocate for human rights, really, I encourage change makers and educate them on the issues at hand so that their voices can be heard too. So I work with the individuals in charge, listening very closely before calling out issues that needs change. So I serve not just as a vocal protester, but I just go one step further by encouraging these changes through education, instead of like merely telling government leaders why something needs fixing, which happens quite frequently. So that's the reason why I'm here today. I'm like, we're gonna put all these topics together under human rights so that we share our knowledge, we share our experiences with the world. I believe in healing the world with our very own humanity. So that's the reason why we are here. It's a wake-up call, good people. If you don't know about your human rights, it's a wake-up call. But when that alarm clock goes off, please, please, please don't ever hit the snooze button. Don't be like, I will wake up in the next 2 minutes. I will wake up in the next 4 minutes. You know what? Forever is a long time. Why don't you wake up? Get going and learn more about depression and overcoming depression, learn about human rights. So our organization, it fills a critical role in society by providing valuable services that governments may not always be able to deliver. From poverty relief to human rights advocacy, we are vital for supporting the most vulnerable members in our communities. So we are an integral part of our society, and we are kind of involved like globally. So because I believe that there are many ways in which we need to persuade governments to adopt human rights related legislation around domestic violence, like you've mentioned your story, Nomzamo. So some of these campaigns that we can host, like providing information to the general public through exhibits, side events, as well as like formal speeches and lobbying officials, maybe during like meetings and negotiations. That's when like I believe diplomacy steps in. Diplomacy and protocol, it has to step in everything that you do. But you will have to understand one thing, kings and queens, you cannot give from an empty cup. You can never, ever give from an empty cup. Trust me, you'll have to fill your cup first. And then from the overflow, you're going to be able to share with the world. From the overflow, the more you gain knowledge, like today, we are focusing on overcoming depression. If you know on the ways that you can overcome depression, then you can go out there and help your neighbor and help your friend. But you can't give from an empty cup. So try by all means to gain more knowledge before you go out there and start sharing with the world. And that's the reason why we're here today. So like I've mentioned, diplomacy and protocol really, it scrutinizes the manners of global relations using the ability and discretion in dealing with others on an international scope. So it is a kind of indispensable in today's universal economy, because being conscious of societal etiquettes and the practices of upright conduct on a daily basis, it will help you to be more effective in almost all areas of, like if you're dealing with businesses on an international scope, it can help you in that one. So diplomacy is a skill that plays an essential role in many areas of our lives, with a kind of generous amount of patience. You'll have to be patient around people. You'll have to kind of understand what others are going through to be able to work towards understanding their views. So protocol at the same time is as significant as diplomacy. It's significant. It's a significant part of diplomacy because diplomatic practice in ensuring that roles are being directed according to maybe official societal laws, you'll have to understand the protocol that is involved in that. So I remember myself, like a few months ago, I just wrote this book, Diplomacy and Protocol, to kind of share the knowledge with the world, to kind of help the world who are conducting like businesses on an international level, how you deal with internationals, how you handle those meetings. So go out there. If you are interested in my book, it's available also on Amazon, anywhere around the world. So it covers vital basics of practices that simplify international communication, and it will give like practical insights that will expand your efficiency in a wide range of settings. So as flight attendants always say, that put on your oxygen mask first before you go out there and assist the person who's sitting next to you, because if you don't, really, when that flight goes down, you and the other person you're trying to help, you will definitely go down when that flight goes down. So it's high time you save yourself first, gain more knowledge on human rights, so that you'll be able to share with the world, so that you'll be able to understand when your human rights have been violated. When we speak of domestic violence, we speak of a violation of your human rights. So gain more knowledge on how you can always overcome all those violations around you, because the reality is your journey to be a better person, it doesn't start with your neighbor, it doesn't start with your children, it doesn't start with your spouse, it starts with you. So knowing who you are to your core, it will make you understand that you have everything around you to reach to your full potential. It will make you understand that you have everything that you need to face the world with confidence. So don't ever give up on your heart's desires. Don't ever give up on your heart's desires. Just recall this, just in case you can't find a way. You can have the drive within you. The drive is just inside of you to get what you want to get, to be where you want to be in the next 6 months. So I am a firm believer of affirmations. I always affirm this. So we're going to affirm it together today, that you can have that drive within you. So how we're going to do it, I'm going to ask you to place your left hand on your chest, and you're gonna raise your right hand. If you're watching us online, place your left hand on your chest and raise your right hand and affirm this with me. Say, I can have the drive within me.
I can have the drive within me
To become what I really want in life.
to become what I really want in life.
Can you say it one more time as if you have faith in your own powerful voice? And guess what? It will echo throughout the whole universe. Say, I can have the drive within me.
I can have the drive within me
To become what I really want in life.
to achieve what I really want in life.
Yes, you can just give yourself a round of applause, because you can have the drive inside of you. It's not from the outside, but it's inside of you. Whatsoever you put your mindset in, whatsoever you want to achieve in the next 6 months, you can have that drive within you. It's just inside of you. You know, it's so funny how my mom and dad gave me this beautiful, beautiful name, Nompumelelo. I know many, when they try to say my name, they always butcher my name. But Nompumelelo, really, Nompumelelo in my own language, it means mother of all success. So you can see that I am really, really challenged to chase after success. No matter what comes my way, I'll have to chase after success. So if I may ask you, how many of you have dreams and goals that you want to achieve? Let me say, maybe in the next 6 months. I know myself, I am one of those. I want you, as you think about your dreams and goals, to put this down. Rise to greater heights. Rise to greater heights, because you need to be clear about your career goals in order for you to gain guidance on professional development. So really, with me as a human rights analyst, my purpose is so simple. My purpose is to teach everyone to know about their human rights and help as many organizations as I can for them to understand and promote human rights. So I also make a difference by bringing solutions and educating others, because you'll have to remember that a right is a freedom of some kind. It doesn't matter where we were born or what kind of family we were born into. We all have the internal recognition of the moral quality of one's motives and actions. It was Nelson Mandela who once said, to deny people their human rights is to challenge their very humanity. To deny people their human rights is to challenge their very humanity. So trust me, this message, it states something within me. So I am a true advocate for creating new policies that uphold human rights and prevent human rights violations from even happening in the first place. So what I do, I consult on policies and procedures related to human rights compliance, and I advise on best practices for implementing human rights programs. And I can also assist with audits of operations against international standards. I do research and help draft human rights related policies on discrimination at work, for example, harassment at work, diversity and inclusion, patients' rights, and many more human rights related policies, because I believe that I have a duty of raising awareness on people's rights and providing solutions at the same time. So I believe that an essential thing in human rights is based on the principle of respect for the individual. Each individual deserves respect no matter what they do or who they are. We deserve respect. I so wish that you can just tell yourself that, you know what, I've had enough today. We've started around overcoming depression and now more knowledge on human rights. I so wish you can just tell yourself that, you know what, it's high time I go out there and be the change that I want to see in my community and be the change in my life, in my own life, because no one else is going to change your situation until you decide to love yourself, like Nomzamo said, until you decide to change the way you view things, because the moment you change the way you see things, things around you will begin to change. So in order for you to go out there and be the change and be the voice for the voiceless, you've got to be hungry. You've got to be hungry like the hungry lion in the jungle. Really, that hungry lion in the jungle, it doesn't matter what kind of animal comes this way. It doesn't matter if you're the giant elephant or the small squirrel by the jungle. All that hungry lion sees in front of his face is lunch. And it's so funny though, because even with elephants, when they see a lion, what they do is that they run. It's all about the mindset. Once you believe, you become. They already told themselves that, you know what, I'm a lunch to that lion. So each and every time when I see a lion, I'll have to run. I believe that's the lion mindset that we need in order for us to be the change, to make a difference, because I believe that we all rise together and we rise by lifting each other up. We don't rise by tearing anyone down or maybe by stepping on another person to get to the top, but we rise by lifting each other up. You know, it's so funny, when I was in the 8th grade, I was nicknamed Phoenix. I was nicknamed Phoenix after writing a composition using the idiomatic expression that says, I rose from the ashes like a phoenix bird, meaning I became successful again. Really, that English teacher, she didn't know that the nickname Phoenix, it resonates with me and it also aligns with my destiny. So for those of you who don't know the phoenix bird, the phoenix is a Greek mythological bird believed to rise from its own ashes after being buried like hundreds of years ago. This immortal creature acquires a new life by rising from the ashes of its own ancestor, which represents our capacity for vision and success. So I want to encourage you, if you're watching and listening under my voice today, that when your world comes crashing down, wear your scars to show how a phoenix feels like to die from inside, and trust in your own capability to rise from your own ashes. Since the phoenix has to die, burn, experience pain before resurrection from its own ashes. Please write this down in conclusion. Resilience to greatness. Resilience to greatness. And I know you've heard this before, that your setback is your setup for your comeback. Your setback is your setup for your comeback. So if I can be honest with you, I don't know what goals you've set for the next 6 months. I don't know what dreams you have for your own future. But here is one thing I know about you. You are destined for greatness. Inside of you, God has put seeds of excellence. Those seeds are supposed to grow and flourish. But many people have become crippled by their past encounters, and some have stepped over other people to get to the top. But I believe that God has a better plan for every one of us. And your objective is what we were designed for and the reason why you live today. With God, I believe that we're all destined for greatness as long as we follow his strategy. This is when the growth commences, because discovering your gift and following God's idea, it will make you understand that you have everything around you to reach your full potential. My everyday inspiration, Mr. Les Brown, he once said, if you had to die today, at this very moment, at this hour, what dreams, what ideas, what visions, what goals, what skills, what talents, and what books will die with you? And the late Dr. Miles Monroe continued saying that the richest place on this planet is the cemetery, because that's where all the goals, all the visions, all the skills have been buried. Honestly, I don't know about you, but with me listening to all these amazing messages, it gave me sleepless nights. And I remember it very well when I started journaling my first book, Rise to Greater Heights. And I lost the count when I got to 10, because I told myself that, you know what, it's high time, it's now or never, because I can understand that I have everything around me to reach to my full potential. So this year, I'm also determined to rise to greater heights with as many motivated individuals. Maybe you are ready to start and scale that business, start growing, scale that business within 90 business days. And perhaps you are that individual who just wanna, you wanna write and publish your #1 best-selling book within 90 days. Trust me, I offer a free, no obligation, 30 minutes friendly Zoom consultation call, which will allow me to find out more about the issues that you are experiencing and to see if you are a perfect fit for any of my programs that I offer, really. So if you're interested in becoming a public speaker, for example, an author, a coach, or maybe that entrepreneur who just want to multiply what you love doing, you want to multiply your income by doing what you love and making a real impact out there, trust me, I just want to empower you to become highly effective and an inspiring leader with a kind of personalized, measurable, but a scalable program. So visit my website at www.risetogreaterheights.com and book that free consultation call. And yes, everything I do, it comes with a guarantee. If I can't serve you, your 100% money back guarantee. How cool is that? Because my ultimate goal is that you feel extremely confident about your purpose. So we will take it one step at a time, and you are definitely going to transform. So if you give me your why, I will show you the how. How cool is that? So my consultation, it offers accountability, education, growth, as well as success. And you might have to ask, why are you doing this? Why now? Really? You know what? I've been there, I've done that, and I know how it feels like. I remember myself 5 years ago, I was kind of lost in the hustle. I was exhausted, I was overwhelmed. I remember I had a ton of ideas, but there was no tried and true strategy to run with it. So it was only when I invested in coaching and I created my first premium offer, then things started to change. And I built an income generating, just doing what I love and making a real impact out there. So I believe that now it's your turn to build your wealth, good people. So the power is just inside of you. Book that free consultation call at www.risetogreaterheights.com and just scroll down on my website and you're gonna see it says book a consultation. Just book that call and we'll take it from there, because growing up, I didn't have much in life because my father decided to have an early departure from this planet Earth. And I thank God that I missed that flight, because I'm still here. I'm still sharing my message. I'm still impacting as many lives as much as I can. So because I had everything because of my mama's love. And I love you, love you, love you, love you so much, Mom. So I think whosoever said that the sky is the limit was wrong. From today on, I, Dr. Riel Nkunene, believe that the sky is our point of view. So let's all rise to greater heights. Thank you so much. So at this moment, Queen Nomzamo, the stage will be yours. Please share your final thoughts, share with the audience how they can reach out to you, how they can work with you. And if you have any freebie that you want to share with the audience, please feel free to share with our audience. The stage is yours, Queen.
Thank you once again, Dr. Kunene. I'm so pleased again for this opportunity. I would like to start by saying, the Bible says, They overcome the devil through their testimony. So I would like to say, let's testify. Overcome depression with your testimony. Claim to yourself and say, there is no weapon formed against me that shall prosper. Even now, I'm busy encouraging, and thank you to my pastor for the opportunity that I'm getting at church in Christ in You Ministries to share my testimony, to even share other people's testimony at church. It's an honor. Even on my Facebook page, I always encourage people by saying, my scars, it's my testimony. So to let it out there, that whatever you're going through, you can conquer it. As Dr. Gunene said, the sky, it's not a limit. Let's rise. Let's keep on rising. Let's keep on rising to a point that we keep on rising. The little you have, share with people. Love yourself. I will emphasize on that. Love yourself. And I'm so honored that by loving myself, today I'm glowing. I'm a beautiful mother.
Yes, you are.
I'm a beautiful wife. I'm inspiration to the community, to my community. Today, people, the youth look up to me to say, if Sis Nomzamo did it, I can do it again. Even at school, I motivate kids that it's not over until God says so. So thank you so much, Doctor. Thank you for such platform.
Wow.
May God bless you
Thank you so much.
abundantly.
Thank you so much. Your scars, your testimony, and you've mentioned that, like, you keep on emphasizing on loving yourself. I can see how much it means to you that you decided, like, to love yourself more, embrace the beauty that now you have. All these scars are your new beauty now. These scars are your testimony, and you keep on inspiring your church. You see how when you share your story with the world, God just opened more doors for you, more platforms for you to be able to continue to share your story, to heal the world with your own story, to heal the world with your very own humanity. We are honored. We are so humbled to have you, Nomzamo, and for you to be able to spare those few minutes to be with us. I know there was a confusion with the time. We showed up 9 a.m. South African time. I believe I was just snoring by then. But we managed to be able, like, to come back again. So thank you so much. Thank you so much, Nomzamo, for sharing a profound message, for sharing your story with us, hoping that our audience have been inspired, they've been motivated, and yes, they will apply every single bit and pieces that you've shared on this platform in their life. So we appreciate you. We're humbled. We're honored to have you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Dr. Gunene. I'm so honored as well.
Yes, and once again, please share with the audience. If you can also post, like, at the end of this show, if you can post on the live streaming on Facebook, how they can reach out to you, please feel free to share with the audience. But you can share right now where they can reach you again and what you have to offer them.
Okay, you can find me on Facebook. It's Nomzamo Hlatshwayo. And also on TikTok, it's at Nomzamo 537. And also my email is nomzamo.mbizo@gmail.com. But I will write it, as Doctor said, on the comment section, where you can find me, where you can invite me to say, come and share your testimony, come and encourage, motivate, and encourage other people to say, my scars, my testimony, we can live again. It's not a death sentence. Depression, it's not the death sentence. You can
Wow.
live again.
Wow, and the more you share your testimony, you are silencing the devil, because that's when he sneaks in. So thank you so much, Nomzamo. I believe our audience will reach out to you, and you're gonna be invited in many platforms from here. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Queen, for being with us here. And thank you so much to our audience online. Thank you for being with us here at Rise to Greater Heights Network, where you can turn your fears into greater success while seizing new opportunities. I hope from all these amazing messages from Nomzamo and myself, you've been inspired, you've been motivated, and you are ready to rise to greater heights. So do join us next week at the same time, same place. Thank you. Merci. Siyabonga.
Let him laugh, let him weep, let him yell, let him sing. All they wanna say. Let him lay me traps and men to pray to Jehovah, me I pray. Let him laugh, let him weep, let him yell, let him sing. All they wanna say. Let him lay me traps and men to pray to Jehovah, me I pray. Let I be me instead of playing games. For chasing fame, let somebody sweat the lack of flames. No, living my life to the fullest and shout out my halala to the fullest. Let my lungs out. I'm still rising up to greater heights as long as